YouTube! What the crap's going on? HeirofCarthage here, kicking this video off right with the introduction, right? We're gonna have some Bretonnia versus Greenskins action. Should be a lot of fun. It's always fun when you got a line of peasants up front and you know that they're gonna suffer intensely. We got some Pegasus Knights. Let's look around over here. It looks like Questing Knights. Yep, Questing Knights. Take a look around. Another Pegasus Knight. Battle Pilgrim army supported by the Enchantress and a Paladin. This is kind of a cool setup. Not sure if I've seen something exactly like that. Looks like both Questing Knights moving to one flank. There's some hidden Night Goblin archers here that are going to be in an interesting position. They're going to poison the Questing Knights here shortly. The Orc boyz. These are not big uns. These must be fanatic archers. Special ranged weapon, yep. Interesting. So let's take a look at the Greenskin army. We got one unit of trolls here, a giant, 3 orc boys up front, 3 black orcs in the back, Grimgor Ironhide. So interesting that it's boyz instead of boy big uns. Especially considering all the cavalry that Bretonnia could field. Like, so if Bretonnia had gone on a Grail Knight type build, what would this flank be able to do about it? Very little, I think. There's going to be one peasant mob go over here just to keep these guys busy. Now, the problem for Bretonnia is the Greenskin player gambled on a giant, and Bretonnia doesn't have any missiles. So that's going to be problematic. There are 2 foot squires that I missed earlier, but 6 Battle Pilgrims. Battle Pilgrims should do pretty good if they can hold their leadership together against Orc boys. They will do very poorly against Black Orcs. The Foot Squires will be needed along with the Questing Knights to potentially kill the Black Orcs. Let's watch the clash of troops here. Pegasus Knight's going to attack the Giant. That's about the best option you have for Bretonnia. You're going to see the peasants and orcs start clashing here. Battle Pilgrims, and then the trolls are going to come in. The trolls can potentially do well in this battle too, since there's not a lot of anti-large. The giant is definitely taking some damage. Foot squires are going to take a charge here from black orcs, and if they get supported by these boyz, which they will, at least I believe they will, the peasant mobs get knocked out over here. The archer's still there. The Questing Knight's just kind of waiting for an engagement maybe, and it looks like the black orcs going to join some combat here against the foot squires. I would expect black orcs are going to win that handily, but again in the center, the Battle Pilgrims are holding up all right for the moment. Grimgor is busy fighting a Paladin, which he should easily dispatch. You can see he's done so without even taking any damage. The Enchantress used her Chalice of Potions to try and take down some of these boyz. Questing Knights actually having an easy time versus the boyz because of the armor-piercing nature of Questing Knights. Pegasus Knight's going to come out here and take out some archers, being chased by Black Orcs. Remember, Questing Knights can actually destroy Black Orcs, like, pretty much just in head-on combat. At least darn close. So Questing Knights would be badly needed to mop up the boyz. And honestly, the Battle Pilgrims are getting hit with Earthblood here from the Enchantress, which is good for them. I don't know if the Paladin survived his encounter with Grimgor. It's unlikely if he stayed there very long. We'll look around Grimgor and see if we see a dead horse. I don't see anything on the ground here, so we'll spot him in a minute if he's still around. But yeah, in any case, Grimgor is still quite healthy. The Enchantress is taking some damage from these trolls, but the trolls are dropping as well. The Battle Pilgrims have held out a pretty good amount of time. There's 2 Black Orcs here and a couple of Questing Knights. If the Questing Knights can get into a attack from the front and attack from behind type position, maybe if some of these regrouped Foot Squires can get back in here, Pegasus Knights, get everything back in here. It's a pretty close fight right now. Like, so the Greenskins leader, Grimgor, is going to be hard to break. The Giant is going to be hard to break, but the rest of their troops are kind of falling apart. Pegasus Knights have done a pretty extensive amount of damage to the Giant, and the Questing Knights over here are doing a lot of damage to all the archers and the boars. Looks like the regrouped Foot Squire is going to be used to try and pull down the Black Orcs. And over here, the Black Orcs are actually falling to a couple of units of battle, several units of Battle Pilgrims, actually. So with one Black Orc nearly out of the way, that's going to be a big deal. And like I said, these troops badly need to be reactivated for Bretonnia, especially the Pegasus Knights. If you can get some of these units back in here, maybe blob up a healing spell. But the Questing Knights out here doing a great job of mopping up all the routing units. That's going to be important, and it's going to give them a ton of kills. These Questing Knights here are about to drop to the Giant. They've gotten 35 kills. The amount of damage done to these Black Orcs is important. The big challenge, I think, that's left for Bretonnia here is what are you going to do about Grimgor? Looks like he's going to come chase after the Fey Enchantress. Yeah, she's not going to want to stay in this combat for very long. Grimgor is going to put her down. Let's see if she has Mist of the Lady. She does have Mist of the Lady, so technically she could kite the entire Greenskin army to death if she doesn't rout by leadership. Wouldn't be a very honorable way for the Fey Enchantress to handle the situation, but she could absolutely do it. You can see it's being used right now in the Trolls, the Pegasus Knights, and the Mist of the Lady. Here comes the Questing Knights that were chasing routing units. They're going to get a very nice rear charge into the Black Orcs, and should cause some pretty extensive damage to these otherwise weakened Black Orcs, though the Questing Knights were a little bit thrashed themselves. And it looks like I can't find their unit banner. It's right here. They're pulling away from the combat to face these regrouped boar boys. And then the Pegasus Knights over here are going to chase down the regrouped archers. So a lot of regrouping greenskins. There's still a lot of Battle Pilgrims here, and that's actually really good for Bretonnia because any of the unarmored Orc infantry units are going to suffer. But even the Black Orcs at this point, they've gotten a lot of kills, but they've taken a number of cavalry charges, and they're starting to just lose their hit points. So there is a few foot squires in here too, which is helpful because they're going to dish some armor-piercing damage. But then where these Battle Pilgrims can to get in here and hurt the morale of the Greenskins or the leadership in the case of Total War, getting charges from all sides will be useful. But again, Black Orcs not going to easily drop. They're supported by their leader, so Grimgor's still in there. He's got 78 kills. Questing Knights coming in. So one Black Orc unit gives up. The other one is darn near to that point. These Pegasus Knights haven't healed, and they still have 14 units. So again, I don't know if the magic's there or not for the Enchantress to heal herself and heal these Pegasus Knights, who are going to give Grimgor a charge. I don't know if Grimgor counts as a large target because he's an infantry unit. He might. Pegasus Knights have that bonus versus large and a lot of charge bonus. That Black Orc unit is actually still fighting. I expected that it was about to rout, but it hasn't. It's just wavering, and then actually the Bretonnian units around it started to rout, which means that it may stabilize a little. So more cycle charges from the Pegasus Knights. Seems like the Lady could be used definitely to pull away the last few hit points of this Black Orc. And then try and regroup some units like these Battle Pilgrims to help hold Grimgor while she tries to maybe do some charge damage or something. We'll see. It's going to be a close end to this fight. There's some more Black Orcs over here, 6 of them that regrouped. There's some... Nope, the Night Goblin Archers have not regrouped. Just kind of looked like it. So yeah, it's a very, very close fight. These cycle charges very well could knock out the Black Orcs. It's not likely to do anything to Grimgor, and the Pegasus Knights now suffering mightily. Using the Awakening of the Wood here to slow down, do a little damage. Must not be much magic left if that's what the Enchantress is pushing out. The Chalice of Potions there to do some more damage. Takes out the Bretonnian units, and look at this, the Black Orcs are just, they're still there. There's only 2 of them left, but they won't rout. And there's only 6 left here. Grimgor is going to put a pretty swift end to these Battle Pilgrims. But look at the Enchantress here, charges in. Does a little bit of damage to the Black Orcs, but she's got to be reeling. Yeah, she's taking a ton of damage. So Peasant Mob and Battle Pilgrims regrouping on Grimgor, who's now got 123 kills. Pegasus Knights came back, and there's actually just a few Questing Knights over here too, which could be helpful because Grimgor is heavily armored. A little bit of cycle charging coming in from the Enchantress now, as we would expect. So basically Grimgor has to carry the day against what's left of the peasants and their leaders. We can see some Pegasus Knights out there and a few here. Let's see whether Grimgor can survive this. He gets charged. Takes a pretty solid hit. But again, Grimgor is going to be one tough target. So the Enchantress using opportunities to charge in when she doesn't think she's going to get hit by Grimgor, so pretty smart, but Grimgor is just waylaying all the regrouped Bretonnian troops. Here comes those few questing knights I mentioned. Enchantress gets a nice charge there on Grimgor. There's a few Battle Pilgrims left here, 16 of them, and then a few questing knights. This will actually be big. If the lady just stays close to Grimgor, she can kind of persistently draw down his hit points. There's some regrouped greenskin units in the back as well, but they are a long ways off. This is a very, very close fight, folks. Very close. Grimgor is taking some damage for sure from these questing knights, but there's only so many of them. The charging lady and her Mist of the Lady is... Does she have Mist of the Lady? Sure think she does. Blessing of the Lady. Yeah, Mist of the Lady. She's got it. So it's taken a toll. It just does, that's right. It doesn't go as fast on single unit character models. That's right. I was used to seeing it pull off like 10 or 15 at a time, but it doesn't do that to. I think it depends on the number of units or character models in a unit. Wow, look at that! Look at that! The lady's standing her ground, gonna drop a comet right on top of Grimgor. This is an extremely close fight. Let's see what happens. It's gonna go down to the wire here. Is it Grimgor? He routs the Enchantress. Look at that, folks. Grimgor, even though he gets his face smashed in by a comet at the last second, routs the Fey Enchantress in an extremely close finish. Wow. And you know what that means, folks, is you just watched a video where the home team did not win. Oh! That's right. That's right. No more of them crazy comments, folks. So the home team didn't win. Thank you to Theocles, Total War, for submitting this. He's been around on my channel for a long time. I think he even has his own channel. If so, I'll try and link to it so you guys can check it out. But yeah, in any case, look at this. Susio here got a heck of a lot of kills with some of his greenskins. These black orcs all picking up some chevrons. The giant, 133 kills. So pretty interesting fight. It was interesting to see a Battle Pilgrim build with the Fey Enchantress. That's always a lot of fun. That's what she's geared towards in campaign. It was kind of fun to see it here. This questing knight right here racked up a ton of kills on those archers, and this one, even with 37 kills, still got a chevron, so it must have gotten some important kills along the way. But yeah, I hope y'all enjoyed this battle. Again, sorry that everything's running so late this weekend. It's because I had a really long week at work, had a ton of stuff to do. I'm actually traveling next week. I will have my gaming laptop with me, and I'll be recording at night. So hotel Wi-Fi allowing, we should be able to get you some good stuff. Hope y'all enjoyed this one. HeirofCarthage signing out for now. See you soon.